Oh, all right. Stream is live. We are rolling. We are about 15 minutes till market opens. Um, just kind of looking at what pre-market was looking like. If uh, if you watched yesterday's video, we ended on a really good note. Um, Anybody that was paying attention to the market yesterday knows that the market's not collapsed, but they had a huge correction yesterday. And we were able to take advantage of that. We got into it, wrote them down, ended up making a $3,000 profit on the day. Absolutely massive. We definitely needed that kind of day. Um, Today we have Powell speaking at 12:15. It's nothing crazy. I think it's like a conference, but he is going to be talking, so it's still something to pay attention to. Um, so that's why we have our line here at 12:15, just as kind of a reminder. That's when things could get dicey. So for the time being, we are going to wait and see what we can do or what kind of movement we're going to have today. Um, Yesterday everything sold off. Aftermarket, everything did still continue to sell off till late last night, and then I guess like late last night, early this morning is when things started kind of trending back up, made some little bit of movement back up, and now we're gonna see what we're gonna do here. We have a double top here pre-market, so that would kind of be a signal for a downside movement. However, again, we're just paying to just kind of wait for everything. Looks like we could potentially get a RSI cross up, or things could just keep falling down. As you guys can see, the zones I have here, this is basically the low that hit yesterday. So kind of just gonna play with like a level of support and see what it does. It has been kind of trending around this line. This green line is our trend line based on where it stopped yesterday, and then where it's kind of trending right now. Just kind of general idea. Right now, we really want to see this thing break below the uh, the moving average, but we're so close to market open that we're gonna kind of wait and see because things could buy up, or we could see this thing sell off for the remainder of the day until Powell speaks. Um, and this zone right here, although it is a big zone, it's about 80 points worth of movement. That is essentially our next zone that we could possibly go into. Um, so I imagine if we depending on what Powell says and his demeanor, and if he says anything or like important at all, um, this zone is our next zone to fill. So we could see quite a drastic drop. I mean, this thing dropped significantly yesterday. So if we go back further, like we have our next zone below us is this one. So remember the yellow line is where we fell to yesterday. The yellow line here is basically like this next level support. And so I kind of made a zone here, just kind of have an idea where things could fall. And that's pretty much what we have. We have about an 80 point drop that we could potentially see, as you guys can see. So once we get up here, kind of gets up here, kind of falls through, and also kind of makes its way through this gap. So that's kind of our next zone that we're looking for. If we have some decent news that comes out from Powell, or he says anything that's like kind of promising for the market to be strong, then we could see it come back up. But we still have our trend line up here that we're going to pay attention to because price tends to come down, eventually make its way back up to this trend line. So you can see from the beginning of it, it was up at the trend line, fell down, kind of made its way back up, fell down, slowly made its way back up, fell down, and then now we didn't quite get all the way up there, but it still kind of tried to move up and then fell down. And if you guys see yesterday, like this was our our trend pre-market, right at market open, it topped out here, and everything kind of just fell down for the rest of the day. And then today, we uh we kind of had like a little U shape forming. So sold off, did its final sell off, and then made its way back up. Um, so that's what we're kind of curious to see if we're gonna, since we're sitting above the moving average, I'm curious to see if we're going to retest this the slow moving average up here and then fall, or are we just gonna fall straight off the bat and break everything? That's the question. Um, Personally, my guess is we're gonna see this thing kind of consolidate a little bit, maybe even maybe gradually move up to the moving average. Um, at least moving up till Powell speaking, and once Powell does his talk and everything, that's when things will really pick up and decide which direction we're gonna go. If it's gonna just completely die down, or if it's gonna, or we're gonna have another red day like yesterday where it just completely falls through, or we're gonna have it rally back up and at least try to go create a new lower high, which would be somewhere in this region or potentially even up to the trend line. Just depends. But right now we have 9 minutes left till market opens, and we're gonna wait. We're gonna let market open and kind of see what the general initial bias is. Looks like we have our. Oh wait, this is a 15 minute, so we want to go back down to the 5. But our 15 minute shows potentially like a. Looks like the MACD is flattening, and then even though we haven't been able to make new highs, we've had this thing. It's kind of coming down. So the downside is obvious. It seems probably more likely just because everything is on a downtrend. And until we get some decent news or some good news saying that like basically saying the markets are getting better, then I think the downtrend is going to be a pretty, uh, I guess, a pretty good thing to follow. So these would have been good entry points right here up there at the top. What I'm thinking is that we're I don't know. What I'm thinking is that we'll probably see a market open. Maybe see some green to punch up to this level to retest this level again. And if obviously if it can't break this level, then we'll see it come down. But if it does, it means we could see this thing flying for a little bit. Because our consolidation zone, we gotta kind of. I didn't really chart anything up here, but this line was where we consolidated right here yesterday before things fell off. So that if we do decide to go up, that could be a line that we go and retest. But I can't imagine really going any much higher than that. And I just found out I didn't know I could do this. This is I guess was coming learning more and more about the. You can make regions. That's why I made this big old region. Like I can literally do here. I didn't know I could do that. Makes it so much easier than just drawing a box and trying to extend it all the way. Learn something new every day. So I need to because I like the visual of a zone because it kind of like I know it's like instead of like a line or a firm line, it gives me an idea or it kind of gives me yeah, I don't know. I just like the way the zones look. And then my notes up here, death cross 4 hour time frame. So if we go look at the 4 hour time frame, we did have the fast moving average cross below the slow moving average, which is a pretty strong signal, especially on the higher time frame that we're going to see something fall down. On the daily time frame, we did also break the moving average, the fast moving average. So as you can see, moving average is now below the slow moving average. So that's a very strong sell signal or very strong short signal or sell signal either way. Um, so that means that we could be seeing this thing ride down pretty hard. And then on the daily time frame, uh, for the first time, and I think since 2022, I think we have broken the the fast moving average. on the daily. So that means day to day we have finally gotten something to sell off. So that means that we're going to be paying attention and ready. Basically, we could see that. That means we could potentially see this thing just kind of trindle down at least until we get to the moving average, or again get some good news to say that hey, we're going to be that the market's going to stay resilient and continue its bullish trend. But until we get that news, we're kind of on the downside, just being bearish, honestly. Oh, everything's pretty much straight pointed straight down. We have less than 4 minutes till the market opens. Like I said, I kind of think that we're gonna see this thing pump up a little bit before, like, on the first few minutes or so, to go retest this line up here, and that way, if again, if it can't break this line or break this level of resistance up here, then obviously we're gonna think have this thing come down. But if it can, then we'll probably see at least fill up to the zone up there before things decide to kind of fall back down, or it could even just kind of gradually climb up, leading into Powell speaking. And then, like I said, when Powell speaks, that's when things will kind of pick up and pick a firm direction for the rest of the day. But we haven't fully firmly broken the moving average yet. Um, It's acting as a nice little level of support. So as long as it's holding support, that means upside is still valid. If we get a break of it below, then obviously that means that our downside is valid. So, a few minutes left. I'm gonna use the restroom before this thing kicks off. All right, market is open. Let's rock and roll, baby. Looks like we're gonna get a sell off. Bouncing right off this previous level here. Dun dun dun. Oh, also, quick update, little side note. So this is what our account is looking at right now. We're up $1,600 total. So we're in the green. Um, with the express funded account, we always have the simple way to think of it is we have always have a trailing $2,000 loss. And obviously we still have our $1,000 daily loss limit. So, but because our account is above $1,500, we're able to trade with three contracts instead of just two if we want to size in heavier. And then once we get our account over $2,000, we are able to, I believe, trade with five contracts max, which is fine because I don't ever think, right, for me right now, I really don't ever need to go over five contracts. And then until we get a little bit more comfortable, that stuff takes time. So so yeah, cool thing. So like yesterday, I mean, it's all hindsight, but speculation, I guess. But yesterday we had a $3,000 move, or $3,000 gain on two contracts. So if we would have had an additional contract, we would have made $4,500 instead of $3,000. So pretty cool. But we're gonna be that's like I said, that's kind of not really super important, but it is something to pay attention to that we can kind of maximize our numbers. But also, it is more risk, so we have to understand the risk and be prepared to lose. So that's what we don't want to do. Thing gonna pump up. They're gonna have this thing right up to the top there. So we got a double bottom here. I think we're at least gonna have it retest the top. So we're gonna go ahead and buy in at least one. Buy one contract. Basically gonna see want to see this release that up here and see if it'll come retest this top line one more time. Only like I said, only went in one contract, so don't want to overextend ourselves here. If we get a break above this, we might size in and let it ride up to the top. Reason I took this trade is because, like I said, these both wicked up right here, both hit a bottom here. So again, expecting it to at least retest this top one more time. Oh, we're good, holding it. That's why we only went in with one contract. As long as we stay above this previous candle, we should be fine. A little premature entry there, but that's okay. It's gonna fall down. It's gonna wick up. It's the real question. It's gonna wick right up. Maybe. No, looks like we are falling through. Gonna wick up. Gonna hold it a little bit. Hold strong. It's not too bad. We look fine. We're all good. Holding up above this level. Looks like we're about to get a test of the moving average, so we're all good. All right, we had to close that one. That was a $475 loss. That's okay. We're all good. We'll fight back. Honestly, they just didn't expect that to do that. Kind of really did think this thing would come up and test this one more time. That's okay. Looks like we are bouncing off that line a little bit. Bounced off the line pretty nicely. And now we're back above the moving average. Probably could have held it, but at the end of the day, we gotta minimize our losses here or cut our losses, and that way we can stay alive, keep trading. Just slipped more than we expected. It happens. Real question, is it gonna keep falling or is it gonna pull back up? It did pull back up to the moving average, but it did close below the moving average, so this could just slide down for the rest of like for the time being. That's okay. So we took an L there, $475 down. We're gonna stay patient, wait for some good opportunities to make some money. We may have to scalp a little bit, take some little small wins to kind of get ourselves back up in the green, or at least to break even, and then we'll go from there. Doesn't look like it's able to, it's not looking like it's going to be able to break below here. But then that's what I said earlier, and it did break down. So just started this candle. Kind of thinking this thing's gonna pull back up here, not gonna lie. It's already kind of trying to push up. We are in the zone here. That's something to pay attention to as well. Do we just believe in the fall? Believe that's just gonna fall all day? RSI is wanking its way down to to being oversold, and then but MACD's also straight down. So that would be a pretty we broke moving average, we broke the slow moving average, or both moving averages. So looks like this thing decided to. Looks like we're oversold on the 1 minute. You could potentially see the thing break out above. It may just keep selling. We need to break this line and then break the trend line if we're going to just keep selling off. It's like we could continue our sell off. Trying to go with the market here. It's just gonna, if it is going to just sell off, of course this thing kind of makes a move back up. Let's see. Come on, sell back off. Are you serious? Come on, hold down. Dude, that is wild. That's just crazy how that. Oh, gosh, man. Two, just two trades that just didn't work or just didn't go with us here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just like this is what happens. Is like we get. It's just one of those things that like as soon as we get entered, it's like it goes against us like immediately, and then like enough to stop us out, and then it's like okay, look, now it's gonna fall. Like I don't know. We're gonna wait. We gotta be patient because now we're down 700 bucks. It would have been fine, but like that's the thing is it just keeps pulling back on it. As soon as we get in there, it pulls back on us and stops us out. But we're gonna stay in the fight. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stay in it. So switching over to the micros, less money to lose. Basically, we're gonna trade this until we can get our see if we can get our account back up to break even. Like I said less at risk. It's a tenth of what we're looking at, so um, we have a little bit more leniency when it comes to what we can tolerate as far as losses goes. But I mean, if this thing is just gonna fall down all day, then or like at least for the first half of the market day, then by all means. But so we did get a break below here, pulling back a little bit now. Um, I guess if we go in, our stop loss would basically be a break above our this candle right here. So we're gonna go ahead and sell one. If it comes back above, then we'll buy in some more, average in as long as it stays below this previous candle. Again, we're playing super light now. We gotta kind of work our way up back into a good position. Um, because if this thing's gonna slide down, then we want to be in it. We got less than a minute left on this candle. The real question is this thing gonna just slide for the rest of the day? Let's size in a little bit. We're two contracts in, and then see how much this thing pulls back. Size in, so we're full position, three contracts. Um, and as long as we're staying in this candle here, we should be fine. But because it kind of fell up, it fell down, it reached down below further here. Gosh dang it, dude, what the hell? We're gonna stay patient. We're gonna let this thing work. We're gonna be patient with it. That's why I went down to the micros because we can tolerate a little bit more of a little bit more movement, and see if this is just like a small pullback or if it's gonna be the we haven't created anything that makes it seem like it's gonna stay like kind of move back up. So we'll have to wait for a couple more candles to form. to really lock that in. But like I said, if this thing's just going to slide down all day, at least we can capitalize on our smaller contracts and at least kind of inch our way back into the green here. So we'd love to see this thing just keep sliding down. Where happened to all my lines? Oh, I did all my lines on the, what's it called? On the main one. This was our original line. And I guess it is sitting right on the trend line here. So it broke through the trend line once, came back up. So I think now that we put this trend line back on here, I do feel, I don't know, we'll see if this thing works out. Um, looks like buyers are potentially just kind of trying to hold this thing up. Maybe we'll see the trend line break. If it does, then we'll see it come down to this level of support. And then from there, it'll kind of be like, see how far it's going to fall down. Uh, so we're good. Like I said, we're playing the micros, so kind of keep this baby in check. Apparently, our finger is anti-profit right now, so let's get a couple small wins, get ourselves back in the green, and then we'll get a little bit more aggressive here. 2 minutes left in this candle. So far, we have been able to stay below the previous candle, which is good. It's gonna be we're gonna have to work today. That's what it's gonna be. We're gonna have to grind it out today. Not always great to start off in the hole, but there have been days I've started out green and gone red and it ended up at green. So we'll stay in it. If we have to get small little wins here and there, that's what we'll do. We got less than a minute left on this candle. Okay, we couldn't break above the previous candle, so we'll see if this thing comes down. That was a lot of buying pressure. See if this thing's able to slide back down, if all the buyers are out, or if the buyers are taking over. Bounce right off the moving average, possibly breaking it. Jesus, man. I just can't get a trade to go in my favor right now. I don't think this buying pressure is gonna hold, but this is wild. Every trade I've done has gone against me. That is mind blowing. Like I don't know how else to put that other than it's just so weird. This is the market is so weird with that. Like it's just so like there's days where everything just lines up, everything goes your way, and then there's days that things just like no matter what you do, it seems like everything goes against you. So I mean, we're gonna have to basically hope that this thing wicks off here and it comes right back down because we're getting close. And what I'm afraid of is I'm gonna hop in and then things are gonna go back against me. That is insane. Like I don't see if it holds down, see if it wicks back down, or if it stops up here. Oh, Jesus. It's just me, or it seemed like everything just freeze. Oh, there it goes. So I could close these, re-enter short, assuming this thing is gonna fall right back down. Now we're in a better position. So let's see if this thing goes in our favor again, if we're gonna keep with the downtrend, or if it's gonna go against us, or if it's gonna break out. So just a poor entry point, maybe. See if this thing will fall right back through. If that was just a pullback and we're going to continue our movement, then this trade should be good. Actually, really good because it'll fall all the way through the gap. And if it's going to continue going down for the like kind of work its way down, we might have found a really good entry point here. But we really need this thing to fall. Okay, let's see if this thing will fall. It's now kind of retesting the slow moving average. Got 3 minutes left in this candle. that was a lot of selling pressure to pull this thing back down. It's almost like we're kind of like a right now we're just kind of battling for if we're gonna let if this thing's gonna keep going down or if it's gonna continue moving up. I mean, if we're going short, short is along with the overall trend. So got 3 minutes left on this candle. Like I said, we're gonna fight this baby back. We ain't done. We could be here all day if we have to. Rather not have to. So let's make some good trades, get back going in the right direction, and make some moolah. All right, starting to break back down. That's good. Nice, nice. Keep falling down. At least go down to the trend line again. If we have to, again, if we have to ride the micros to put us back, basically what we're gonna have to do from now is let them play the micro to the point and trade the micro to the point that we can get ourselves back up to like a decent downage, maybe like I don't know. Honestly, it's almost like we might as well just trade this until we get ourselves back to break even. Um, and then once we can do that, we that's when we can kind of see about doing the S&P. Okay, so that's kind of wicking straight up. That's wild. Buyers are still trying to hold on to it. Got less than a minute left on this candle. See what this thing does. We are prepared to close it for a small win if we have to, but rather not have to. Rather this thing just kind of die down. But that's a lot of wickage right there. Again, a lot of buying and selling kind of going coming in. Kind of at an indecision right now. Kind of wicked right back above. I mean, that's indecision if I've ever seen it. See if it's gonna break. That's the other thing is we don't want to close a trade if it is gonna continue falling because if it continues falling, we're in a pretty good entry right here. So if it does like to want to continue this trend for the day, that would be great. We could bag pretty well, but we need this thing to break below this previous wick here. Can't do that. We might be in trouble here. That previous wick I think is like 6 points in the green, maybe almost 7 points in the green. Nice. The bottom wick is I guess is 7. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now the real question is it going to break through the trend line and keep going, or is it going to reject off the trend line? So that's our next kind of point to pay attention to. It was able to get down below this one. Let's see if it still closes down there. Um, it's 9:07. Got 3 minutes left on this candle. That is a huge wick, though. Buyers are really trying to hold this baby up, or it could be either one. Seller, like this is one of those situations where it's kind of both. Buying and selling is kind of trying to decide who wants to take over. Got 2 minutes left on this candle. Close that for a small little win. Probably could have closed it down at the bottom, but it is what it is. So small little win, which is fine. If that's what we have to do to get ourselves back in the green, then that's what we're gonna do. That was like a small little $50 gain right there. That's just a lot. Like for it to wick all the way down like that is pretty insane, actually. I guess I don't know. Part of me thinks it's gonna just keep going up now. I feel like it's kind of looking like it's holding above this moving average. So we might even just let's play it. Let's play the long game. See if it goes up. Let's see if this is where it's gonna kind of keep going. Yeah, there we go. A lot of buying to push it back up. See if it breaks above the moving average. We would need some enough buying pressure to break above the moving average here. Let's see what it does. MACD starting to curl up. RSI starting to move up. So we're gonna hold this thing. See if the buyers are in control right here. I think they might be. Come on, wick right back up. Looking for this thing just to bust up out of here. We need it. It's creating support on the slow moving average. We need this to break the fast moving average in order for us to really have an uptrend. This could just kind of work its way up. Need to need it to break it. Like I said, it's not like I mean, although the market's down, I think I said earlier that leading into Powell speaking, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing kind of gradually moves up. Come on, baby, let's get a break of this thing. Give us a nice big old green candle up out of there. We have 3 minutes left in this candle. Let's see if this thing, what we will need to kind of pay attention to see if this thing tops out. If it can't break above this level after like a candle or two, or like three, like a couple candles, then we may not, we don't have enough buying pressure to break out of it. But if we can get one of these candles to break out here soon, then we should be good for the upside. 2 minutes left on this candle. Come on, baby, break up out of there. There we go. Come on. There we go. We got some buying power stepping in. Can we break it? We're gonna be able to break it. And we have broken it. Breaking it! Break it, baby, break it. I like to see it. That along with the MACD pot looking like it's gonna cross up. That means as long as we got this buying pressure stays in, we'll should get a cross up. It's a lagging indicator, which means that's again just saying that we're kind of moving up. So obviously our level of like to pay attention to is going to be is this level here, which is our double top. Obviously we need to see this thing hit this, or if we can break it, then we'll keep going. If not, we'll just kind of chop up and down basically throughout the day. And I need to re-put my line here to remind myself that Powell's speaking at 12:15. Question is how the question is how much this thing will climb if it does decide to climb leading up to Powell. Could be just this could just be a continuation of this trend. So cautious of that, conscious, and I guess cautious would be both valid terms there. Cautious and conscious. I want to be conscious while I'm trading. There we go. It's a good amount of wickage. So that means there's still some sellers kind of trying to hold this baby down. So that either means the buyers are fizzling out and we're able to just pull it up, or that means We're gonna close that. Nice little win there. This It's very possible that this is just a pullback on the trend, kind of keep things going down. So we're gonna go backwards. We're gonna play the slide. See how much this thing sells off. If it's gonna sell off all the way down, like so, if this, yeah, I mean that wick's pretty nice. If this is just a pullback for the to keep the trend continuing, then that's another good entry point for a short. We'll see if this thing decides to fall down or if it's gonna hold up. We'll see. It's like we just got to get a rhythm for the market right now. That's what we're doing. We're just trying to find the rhythm and flow with the rhythm. So if this comes up and falls back down, then honestly this could be the pullback that we needed for it to break all the way through the trend line. Or like I said, it could just sit here and do this until up to Powell. So we're just prepared to play either way. Interesting, interesting. Here comes the possible sell-off. Give us a sell-off. Here we go. Here we go. Buyers said their piece. Now the sellers are going to reclaim their glory. Oh, oh. Broke below that previous candle. Now should break clean through the moving average here and make our way down to the trend line, baby. Here we go. Now in this situation, if we're gonna have to pay attention to this trend line, see if it breaks. We need to break the trend line and then break this previous close below the trend line, and also we need to see this thing close below this previous low. Hopefully we got enough momentum that created from this pullback, if that's what it's gonna do. We also need to take into account that this could potentially be a pullback for an uptrend to continue, but we are going to be ready for anything. Being that the overall trend is down, sentiment is negative, then I would favor the downside, but again, prepared for anything. Got 3 minutes left in this candle. See if it can stay below the moving average. Come on, keep falling. Keep falling, keep falling. Oh, it's falling. Obviously, we need to break this one down here because this is where it fell down to and wicked right up. So we need a solid break below this previous low. We got 2 minutes left in this candle. Go. Doesn't like either one has full either buying and selling hasn't fully taken control yet. Here we go. Oh, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. As long as we don't wick off right here, we should be fine. Less than a minute on this candle. Any minute we'll be switching into a new candle. As long as we have some selling pressure still going into this next candle, we should see it go down or continue going down. Oh, it looks looking pretty good. All right, gonna break a low, or we're gonna pull back up. Is it gonna fall through, or is this our new low? We're gonna close that, take our profits. Nice. That's like a little, I think 550. So 5.5 times 4 times 3 contracts times 1.25, about 80, $90. So we are looking like it's going down. It's not fully. We broke below this one, so we may go in. We may go short again with basically our kind of paying attention to this top line here. It's pulling back. We'll wait. I mean, that was like it's almost like yeah, it's almost like this kind of like a pullback here, nice little lower low or higher low. Could retrace right back up. So let's buy in. We'll play the upside. See if it goes trending right back up. Nice little wick off there. Kind of expecting things just to kind of to wick right back up, but got 2 minutes left in this candle. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake all the way up. Wake all the way up. Less than a minute on this candle. Bounced off the trend line very nicely. Dang it! Let's say it could be. It could be this. We could just see this thing keep falling. Also gonna curl up on MACD on the 1 minute. Bid in. So we're kind of counting on this curling up, maybe pulling back again. Um, it's almost like this thing's kind of created a range here, and we might be. Oh, yeah, we're. Oh shoot, Jesus Christ! I was seeing this range here. I was gonna play this, ride it back up. I think I might just let this thing ride. Look, it's gonna come right back up. Yeah, I mean, jeez, dude. Maybe it will. Maybe that's what it is. It's gonna keep ranging in here. I guess we're gonna have to have a little bit more tolerance here. Less than a minute on this candle. Let this candle finish out. If we can get a retest of this trend line and stay below the trend line, we'll buy in for another. We'll go short again. But imagine nice little spinning top. We just keep sliding. Come on, keep sliding down. Oh, come on. Just keep sliding. Keep selling off. Maybe at least sell off to the line here to support. So we broke the trend line. Um, Now I guess our next level is this level of support. If we can break this level of support, then we'll see this thing kind of just keep going down. Let's let this baby ride. think this is a situation where we are going to let this thing hold because I don't think there's anything to really hold this up. If people are scared of the market and things are going to sell off, then I think this might be the place to do it. We're gonna let this thing. I'm gonna let this one ride. We're gonna let this thing play out. We could see something similar to yesterday where things just absolutely tank. That would be great. It's where we kind of just got to be patient and stop trying to get these slow, quick moves. More or less, just let the thing develop, give it time to work. Um, yeah, I think overall sentiment is down. So we really like to see it break below this level of support. Again, if we can break this level of support, then we will. I mean, it might be a bloodbath. Come on, baby, break that support and ride the wave down. Got 2 minutes left in this candle. A little less than a minute on this candle. Hold. New candle should be opening any second now. Imagine we're probably gonna get like another I don't know, let's see this thing stay below it. We'll see. Like 3 minutes left on this candle. We're just kind of paying attention to see if this thing, make sure it stays below the trend line. Because obviously things are just kind of falling down. It's just, it sucks because, like, I don't know. We just gotta be cautious. It's just, got 2 minutes left on this candle. God dang it, dude! We just can't get things to go in our favor, man. All right, we're gonna step away. I'm gonna step away for a second, take a breather. We are $35 away, 45, $35 away from being stopped out for the day. And just things just aren't going in our favor here. Um, and it's just like every trade, I guess, I don't know, I guess in a way we're looking for that big trade, but every trade just seems to be going against us right now. We're still going to stay in the fight. We're just going to, again, just keep what we're doing. Today's going to be a grind if we're going to end up back green. Um, but we're going to stay in it. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to close the live stream out for now. Right now, we're down 965. But like I said, we're going to stay in the fight and try to get some wins back with the on the micros. And yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna close it out. I need to take a breather, take a second to recuperate, and we'll get back in this thing. But for now, I'm gonna close out the stream. And if you guys want to see the results of how everything went, just head on over to my Instagram page where I'll do a market update at the end. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'm out.